to another podcast episode of The Making of a Teacher. I am Josh Nelson, and I'm here today with Dr. Latryce Cole from the math department, the chair of the math department, and her second year here at St. Andrews. I'm so excited to talk to you about your background, your philosophy of education. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
And this is also the first episode that I'm recording on video, so we'll see how this goes. But I think it'd be nice to show people the YouTube clips of these videos.
Got it.
So, Dr. Cole, and first off, do you mind when people call you Dr. Cole, or does it make you still like it?
I still like it. It's still new. It's still
Right.
brand new.
Yeah.
No.
If people forget to call you doctor, are
All
you
the time.
like, come on, man, it's doctor?
I'm not like that.
Okay,
It's not
yeah.
like that for me. But no, I still have people as Miss Cole. I do get upset with Mrs. Cole.
Mrs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's my mom.
Right.
So,
No, I
but
understand that. Yeah.
But no, it's fine.
So,
Yeah.
where did you grow up? Because I know, but I need
Right.
to ask you this question so other people find out.
No problems. I understand. Yeah, I'm originally from Alabama. So, very small town, west central Alabama. It's called Bowlage,
And that's-
Alabama.
Must be 50,000 people, right?
Yeah, no. Divided by, no.
How big is that town?
Population, I think the last time I looked on Wikipedia, they had maybe population of 800.
Wow.
Yes.
So that's a small town.
Yes.
Right? And you
Very
lived
small.
not in the town, but outside of the town? I mean,
Right. So being that small,
right.
so yeah, where the town limits are
Yeah.
blurry. But no, so I lived outside of town, very rural area.
Yeah,
My
rural
closest
area.
neighbor is like a mile away. So
So
yes.
a lot of land, like farming.
Lots
and,
of land, farming. Yeah. We are. I don't know how many generation farmer. My
Yeah.
dad still lives there. He still farms the land.
What does he rotate through? What crops?
It rotates through purple hull peas and corn.
Okay.
So yeah, and then he has a small garden.
Yeah.
So over the past couple of years, cucumbers has been his.
Oh, okay. That's
his big thing.
jam.
That's his thing, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have to do any chores around the farm? I mean,
Of
like,
course. Yes.
What was a typical day like for you when you were before high school? Like before you became a jaded teenager. What was it like being on the farm?
So on the farm, we didn't have any chores in the morning. It was always after school. So you came home from school, you changed from your school clothes into your work clothes, and then at that time, my dad had probably, in case he sees this, we'll say less than 100 head of cattle.
Okay.
So we would have to go feed the cows.
Okay.
And that involved, calling them up, which wasn't a problem because it was feeding time.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, they knew. And so climbing into like a crib and filling baskets with corn and taking it out and putting it in troughs. And, things like that.
That's like hard work.
Yeah.
And that's
It
after
is.
school, before homework.
That was after school, but before homework.
Okay.
So after all the chores were done, we'd come back in. We all lived with my grandmother, so she had this large dining room table, so we'd all sit around the table.
Mm-hmm.
We'd do our homework.
Yeah.
My mom and dad are teachers. My grandmother was a teacher. So,
Yeah. Did you feel that did being a
Yeah.
teacher feel normal to you? Like you thought, oh, that's just what I'll do when I become an adult?
Well,
Or
yes
did you
and
flirt
no.
with anything else? Because, you have your master's in math. We're going to get into
Right,
that. But,
right.
there's a lot of opportunities for
Yes,
master's
agreed,
in math. Like,
agreed.
you make a lot of money.
Agreed.
A lot more money than being a teacher.
Right, there were a lot of
So
opportunities,
something-
and I heard that a lot too.
Yeah.
Growing up, because I did. My dad's really good at math, although he chose music. And my grandfather, my dad's dad, was a math teacher, and my grandmother was a sixth grade teacher, so
Okay.
she taught math as well,
There you
right?
go.
And so going through high school, like math was a breeze.
Yeah.
It was like that was fun time, right? And when classmates have problems, they'd come and ask me, and I was like, oh no, this is how you do it.
Right.
So I loved the math, and I knew that's what I wanted to study. And as I did that, I really didn't think a whole lot about career. It was just,
Right. Just like math.
I just like math. I want to do math.
Yeah.
And and I had a lot of people like, oh yeah, you chose an excellent
Yeah.
major.
Yeah.
Oh, you have so many opportunities. And I remember probably either the end of my junior year or the beginning of my senior year, I'm thinking like, what are all these things? People keep telling me I have all these
stacking paper. Like I'm just math. I do math for a living.
Yeah. What does that look like? Like I don't really. Yeah. So that's how I ended up going to grad school because I didn't know.
Yeah. But you knew you loved math enough that you wanted to learn more of it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So in high school, though, as a kid that liked math,
yes,
and somebody who also came from a background of teachers and education, you know, how did you feel about being in school during the whole part of your day, not just the math class? You know, what was school like for little Latryce Cole?
Yeah, school was great. You know, it's
small
one of those
school?
things. It's a small school, right? I went to, you know, when you're in a town where the town officially has such a small population, you're pulling from other communities.
Right, yeah.
Right? So I think when I was there, the time I was there, probably, you know, the population of the school, which was K through 12, right, was probably as big as the population of the town.
Yeah.
So everyone knew everyone.
Yeah.
Right? All the teachers were my mother's. I went to school with my mom.
Okay.
So I was at the same school my mom taught. So all the teachers knew me, and you know they all knew my mom. So it was this thing of you're under the. I don't think I realized that at that time, but you're under this microscope, right?
Yeah.
And so you know that if you step out of line, all the teacher has to do is literally walk down the hall,
right, and find Mrs. Cole.
Yes, right, and find Mrs. Cole, and then you know. But anyway, it was a good experience. I mean, I grew up in a household with a lot of cousins, so it wasn't that I didn't have interactions outside of school, but I think it was to the point where the interactions I had inside of school were very different.
Yeah.
And my school believed in tracking, so I was with a small group of students throughout my whole experience there. And so over the years, we had a tight bond.
Right.
So it was really about spending time with them and being with them and going through that process and having that experience of learning with them.
In high school, when you were in that track, and I mean, I guess for anybody that's not familiar, tracking means that you're within a tract and you go with, you know, so that's where we get like our advanced math and then the regular math or remedial math. That's where some schools do that.
Yes.
In your experience, it was a very positive one. Do you look back at that and do you think about tracking here at St. Andrews, or has that changed for you in some way as a high school student that benefited both socially and academically from that experience?
Right. Yeah. As an adult or as a teacher, even looking back, I now find myself thinking about the kids who weren't in the track.
Right.
Right. What was their experience like? You know, those are the kids that I imagine probably when they finished high school, they were like, "Oh my gosh, school was awful."
Right. Yeah. And you had a very idealized feeling of school.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good, very, very good point.
So that I'm on the fence about.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, I was in tracking as well. I mean, I've benefited from it, academically, socially, but I do think about like what my experience was different, and and I think that there is a lot to be said about how you populate those tracks, and how and I think that is definitely before you do it, you need to make sure that it is an equitable, democratic system that is not going to privilege certain students over another.
Yes, which happens a lot.
Yeah. So high school, good.
Yes.
Decide you're going to go to college junior year, and you went to a historically black college in HBC.
Yes.
Spelman.
Yes.
Right by Morehouse.
Yes.
Shout out to Zach. Sorry. What was college like for you?
Well, the nice thing about college was actually my 10th grade year. After my 10th grade year, I left that school, and I actually went to the Alabama School of Math and Science.
Right. We're going to, real quick, I'm going to pause. We got to say hi to Daniel real quick. He's walking through, and people see him on the video, and we don't acknowledge that this occurred. It might be weird.
That would be weird.
So, Mr. Daniel Mutter, our new yearbook publications and digital media teacher, he's graciously letting us use his room for these interviews.
Yes, and so happy to have you guys here, and please, everybody, this is not my room, this is the school's room. It is open for all publications, any and all, so I welcome you all to come.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry about that. So,
No, it's okay.
College.
Yeah, so at the Mass Science School is a boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd had the boarding experience
Right.
for 2 years. We had to develop responsible for creating our own schedules. Right. We had, all periods where, you could go back to your dorm and sleep, So I had a glimpse of what college life would be like before I actually went.
Right.
And so the first year, it felt like a small leap across, right? Because I didn't have those social adjustments.
Right, that normally occur when you're a freshman.
Right, yes. So I didn't have that, but I ended up, again, I started actually in the honors program, and so people in the honors program all lived in the same dorm, and so I had a community there, a group of women that, so let's back up.
Spelman. We should mention that. Spelman is
an all-female institution of higher learning.
Got it. Which is important to know.
It's very important, right? As I start, I'm like, wait a minute, they should have that.
All women is like, oh yeah, I should explain this. This is why it's all.
Say that, So I had another group that was interested in learning and loved learning. Right. And then the dynamic here was that it was all female.
Nice.
Right. So here I'm surrounded by African American women that are excited about learning, and as I started working in my program, they're excited about math. Yeah. And that was new. Yeah. Because in high school, I was the math nerd.
You were
right?
the math, right.
Like I was the one that I got excited about going to math class and doing math problems.
Were you one of the only girls that was excited about math in high school? And
no, I can't remember. I can't.
But I mean, like in college, you're like. Not the only girl.
I am not the only one.
Math.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one not excited about math, and actually, no longer feeling like the smartest one in the room.
Oh yeah. The imposter syndrome,
Yes.
right? Like
yes.
Oh yeah. I know.
Like,
that is the imposter syndrome for people that haven't studied math is that you feel like you are an imposter. You don't know as much math as everybody else. Yes. And one of these days they're going to find you out. And it happens in other areas, but I think specifically for people studying math, it's a very real phenomenon.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
Very much so. So no, I mean, and again, and I hope I don't sound like I'm over exaggerating, but college was great. Yeah. Right? You're at this small college, all 4 people have 5 years, whatever, but 2,000 women tops, and you get to know people. Yeah. When you're sitting in a class, and you're not sitting in an auditorium with 299 other people. Yeah. I'm in a classroom. A lot of my classes, 20 women tops. Right.
So there's a connection there between the smaller 800 student high school, 2,000 student college.
Yes.
You feel like you know everybody by the end of the year, or 4 years.
Yeah. So it was really a great experience.
Yeah. And what was, so you liked it. Did you ever run into, what part of either high school or college did you just not like? Was there anything? We're going to get to that question later, but during the rapid fire stuff.
Oh, got it. Okay. Anything I did not like. I guess maybe I'm not a social butterfly. Yeah. And I think in high school, being a teacher's kid, there's that expectation. Because I remember and it's funny, over the summer I pulled out some old photo albums and looking at like being homecoming queen, on the homecoming court, and all of those things that I did, because it was the expectation. But like looking back, if I could go back, like I would have much rather than sitting in the audience, like bored to death, right, watching all these queens kind of parade through. Right? They have Miss JROTC.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, I would have much rather have been kind of on the other side,
on the periphery, but instead you felt an expectation as a result of mom. Teaching there that you got to try out for things that ordinarily you would have liked to made the decision. Yeah. Maybe not to.
Right. I think the same thing happened in college, but it's on a different level, right? You have kids that, or not kids, oh my gosh, my classmates that wanted to go to, say, Morehouse or Clark Atlanta and go hang out on the weekend. I'm more like, what, really kind of want to stay home and watch TV?
Yeah.
Read a book.
Right.
Yeah. This was pre email,
pre-internet,
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
It was very much television
TV book.
Yeah.
Remember those days?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As you're studying math,
Yes.
or during college,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes very difficult. I mean, math. I mean, if people don't know that math,
Yes.
it increases with a sort of exponential trajectory when it comes to the topics that you're encountering.
Right.
So I got to ask, like, when you decided to do your graduate program in math, were you trepidatious? Was there fear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How'd you handle that and go forward through it? Actually on the other side now.
Right. With the program that I actually chose it because my mentor at Spelman recommended that I go to this particular, which was Auburn, but go to this particular school because that's where he had earned his. He actually had a PhD in math, but he'd earned his degree from Auburn, and his advisor was still there. And working with him, actually at Spelman, helped make it through those upper level math courses because it really is. It's this jump. Like you finish Cal 3, and you're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
This was fun. And then you turn around and you're like, abstract algebra, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. So the pure math comes in, and the theory, the theory,
and I'm doing these proofs, and I'm doing these problems that take like 2 pages, and you're like, okay, but I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's like I'm still having fun because I'm thinking deeply.
Yeah.
About the material and going through, and it was great, but it was that piece of imposter. Okay, I made it through Spelman. It was a great experience, but I'm about to go off to Auburn.
Right.
I'm gonna represent Spelman, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep up. So
Right.
it's like that imposter syndrome, like
Yeah.
you know,
Multiplies.
Yeah. Right. So, but I had a good advisor at Auburn.
That's good.
And I think that helped a lot. So
yeah. So then you got your master's in math, and what was your field of study? I mean, I know it, but again, I'm asking for other people.
Yeah, differential equations.
All right, so
differential equations.
That's a special subject.
Yes, right. I was looking at my thesis.
Yeah.
Probably last year around this time, last year, and essentially it was I solved one problem.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
30-page long thesis, and I was solving one problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Diffie-Q is difficult. I don't know. Yeah. There you go.
I like that. Yeah.
So when you finished, you got your master's, your thesis is done.
Yeah.
You became a teacher.
I became a teacher.
Yeah. So where was your first job teaching?
Yeah, completely by accident. I went back and I was talking to some mentors at Spelman, and like, okay, I'm almost about to finish this degree.
Right.
What should I do next? And they suggested teaching because I graduated at an odd time. I graduated in December.
Okay.
So one of my mentors, Dr. Shaw, she recommended that I fill out an application at Carney Sando, which is a placement agency.
Right.
And the Westminster Schools in Atlanta, Georgia, was looking for part-time subs. They had teachers that were, but they were looking for part-time subs. Yeah. And so it's me and one other teacher, math teacher, and we started at the same time there in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's like going back home.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was good.
And what was your, first experience teaching? Did it just feel natural, or did you have to work towards it?
Yeah, no, it felt natural. It's like, okay, I made the right decision.
Yeah.
Because in graduate school, I was TA.
Right. So you got a glimpse of it, and you knew what it was going to be like.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things I remember distinctly with my interview at Westminster, talking about the type of student that I would be working with, and they talked about how it was college preparatory, and it was very much akin to the type of student that would have gone to a math science school.
Right.
So it was, and that worked out because they also had tracking as well. And my first job was with honors, teaching honors, pre-cal and algebra 2. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's a good start.
It was a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an excellent start.
So, I mean, clearly there's something that has happened after this experience in your life because you are now Dr. Cole. So,
Yes.
you know, you didn't give up on school. You were still
Yeah.
teaching in a school. What led you into the PhD program?
Twofold. One, really wanting to know, because to that point, all of my degrees were about math.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I had no experience with education.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that have degrees in math education, and I respect anyone that earns
Yeah.
a higher degree. So it started partly wanting to know more about education
Right.
in general, and I was also at this crossroad of over the years that I've been working, it was an interest in the experience for students of color, and so wanting to learn more about education in general, and kind of specifically with the world of independent schools,
Right.
and the messages that students of color are receiving from kind of administration and from teachers, and how that's shaping their particular experience.
What was your experience like as a student of color in the 800 size high school? I mean, was it, and then also as a teacher at Westminster, was it, did you seem to notice that you were, how diverse was Westminster, and was it something that you started to think about then, or were you a high school student also thinking about these very issues?
I didn't start thinking about this until I was at Westminster.
Okay.
So to go back, Bology is like 95% African American.
Okay,
town.
so yeah.
So my school was 99.9% African American, right? And then I chose a HBCU.
Right.
So
yeah. So it wasn't until
like,
Westminster that you started
right.
to.
Or actually, it wasn't until I went to the math science school.
Right.
And but that was I think I had a graduating class of maybe 100 kids, and there were 10 African American kids in my graduating class. And now, knowing what I know, looking back, I see that I had the same experience for those 2 years at the math science school that my students were having. And so when you get to, or when I got to Westminster, one of the things that kind of opened my eyes to that they had a diversity coordinator, African American woman, and just really spending time with her, working with her, and working with the students of color that really flocked to her, because whereas the student population was fairly diverse, right? The teaching population was not. So there were different ethnic, racial groups represented, but not nearly compared to the rate for the student population, right? So for the kids, it was, here's this woman of color that we can also go to and spend some time with, kind of like your space. Like she had a space similar to yours, not a maker space, but
like
it was a place where the kids love to gather. And so just really flocking to her and having a safe place where they could meet together and have conversations about their experience one-on-one.
And this informed what you ultimately decided to write for your dissertation.
Yes.
And it was a big experience for you to be at Westminster and to talk to the diversity coordinator.
Right.
I think that there's a misconception amongst people that if you are born a person of color, then you already understand all of the minutia and everything that it means to be a person of color. Right. And it's not that way at all.
No, not that way at all.
Yeah. So as you did your doctoral program, were you also teaching at all during that time?
When I started.
Yeah.
So by that time, I'd actually left Westminster. I moved back to Alabama. I was working in Montgomery, and I started while I was teaching there. So, and that was an awesome experience because I was having this duality, right? During the day, that's kind of like a superhero, right? During the day, I'm in the front of the classroom, but at night,
back of the classroom.
I'm in the back of the classroom. So
do you think that allowed you to empathize with your with your students more?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Imagine that, knowing the answer myself, but
yes, it just changed my whole view. Just that experience alone changed my approach to teaching.
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot stand up here and drone on.
Yeah, because you know what it's like.
I know what it's like,
Yeah.
just kind of from that practical sense of having to sit in that chair for 50 minutes.
Right.
But also from the viewpoint of they've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Right? And I was having that experience where I was sitting in classes and, these professors are talking to me and I have classmates who are administrators and they're having this exchange and I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, oh my, this is so fascinating to me, right? Whereas as an adult, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is what I came here for.
Yeah.
But for 14, 15, 16-year-olds, it's like, I'm here because, and they don't really know how to fill in that sense.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, imagine because of your experience in math specifically would have been a positive one, and maybe it would have, somebody else would have said that teacher's droning on.
Yes.
But you were like, oh, I love it.
I'm soaking it up. This is great. This is awesome. Yeah.
And sometimes you need to get out of that subject in order to feel like what it is like for a student who is in your subject that doesn't naturally gravitate towards it.
Right.
So, as you're in Montgomery, you're getting your PhD, you're getting your doctorate, you're finishing up, and then Carney Sando again, correct?
Carney Sando again,
Because that's thankfully how we found you here. So, this was 2 years ago. You moved to Austin, and you've been working here. This is your second year. After your first year, you were named the chair of the math department. A great honor for somebody who's only been at the school for 1 year.
Wow.
And so now you're leading that department. What have you learned over the last year and a few months here at St. Andrews that has helped you with the position of math chair, or maybe hurt you? I don't know.
No, I think any new situation I go into, it's always my choice to become observer. Right. So I think my first year, it was a very dynamic switch because I'm going from being full-time grad student back to the classroom. I had a 3-year break.
Right.
So we talk a lot about those first few days drinking out of the fire hydrant. I was like, actually, I'm drinking out of two. So, no, I mean, just really observing the department and learning about teaching math at St. Andrews.
Right, because it is a situated.
Right.
It's a situated experience.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very
you can't
much
just take Westminster math teaching and apply it here.
Right. Exactly. So, and that was my goal for the year. Just really spend a lot of time, talking with and observing, Doug and Evan, because we were teaching the same classes last year, and because they've been here longer and they know the type of student.
Yeah.
What is a St. Andrews student at the core, and really spending time with them, observing what they're doing. And then for others in the department, because we had Chris Baby, who's, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Knowledge.
And just having conversations with them, and maybe not even having a conversation, but listening. Yeah. Just listening, right? Well, this came up, and so to hear them talk about, across the room,
right?
Like we ran into this while we were talking about this particular, concept in class, and hearing all these great ideas about, okay, well, maybe we approach it from this way. Yeah. And just that, being cohesive, a unit of one. Right. Right. Yeah. And that was the thing that I was like, I like this. Yeah. I like this. And Westminster is a really large school, so you have this huge math department, and where we might be teaching the same thing, we're in silos. Right. Right. Yeah. We're really in silos, and not having that here. Like we had that one math office, and there are several times throughout the day where we're all in there, right? And you have all these great conversations. Yeah. Not just about math, but about learning math and about teaching math. Yeah. Right. So that was really a great experience and to observe. Yeah. And that's what I liked. And so when the opportunity came to apply for the position, it's like, I want that to stay.
Yeah.
Right. That's who we are
Yeah.
as a department.
That's awesome. So, anybody who hasn't visited the math office, stop by and have
especially
a laugh.
between 3:30 and 4.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna now run through some quick questions because I think you got to go teach.
I've got to go
So
teach.
we're gonna try and do these fast.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
What do you do for fun?
A lot of different things. I love reading. I used to be in biking, but there are too many hills in Austin. Photography, painting. I took up knitting.
So you collect
researching.
hobbies.
I'm a collector of hobbies.
Nice. So what bores you?
So that is something that was removed from my vocabulary as a child.
Really?
Right.
Couldn't say I'm bored.
No,
There's
they
so much
find
to
a
do
new
on
chore.
a farm. Yeah.
they find a new chore.
All right.
So I can't.
Nothing more.
Yeah, I can always find something to entertain.
That's a skill. What aspect of school stifled you?
Monotony. If there was anything that was monotonous, like drills. Yeah.
Not good.
No, not good.
What aspect of school uplifted you?
Deep conversations. So I loved like my philosophy classes. Yeah.
That's good. What is your favorite part of being a teacher?
Oh, the students.
What's your least favorite part of being a teacher?
Yeah, grading.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
Putting
thing.
that number on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, not a fan.
What subject other than math would you like to teach in school?
Oh.
If you can just name one.
So. History.
History. Yeah.
Right? History. Because
Yeah.
that was part of my research.
Yeah.
Right? Looking at the history of the American education system.
Yeah.
So history. Yeah.
All right. What subject would you not like to teach in school?
Writing.
Mhm.
So English, writing.
What mistake in your life have you learned the most from?
So regrets. So anything that first impulse told me to do, and then I decided not to do it. Yeah. I've
Always thought about it.
always go with your first impulse. Yeah.
Finally,
Yes.
Dr. Cole, how do you believe people learn?
By doing.
By doing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Cole.
you.
Go have fun. What class are you going to teach?
We're going to
right now?
geometry.
All right.
Yes.
Then off you go.
All right. Excellent.
Thanks
Thank
so much
you.
for
I
being
hope this
on
works
the
out.
podcast. Yeah. Me too.
All right. Excellent.